Ladies and gentlemen, Ahmad here, Master Tech from Mercedes-Benz. I'm gonna do an alternator replacement, Audi Q7 3.0, and it's 2015 model. So first, I'm gonna have to disconnect the battery in negative side because I'm doing the alternator on it. So these two little clips would pop, and then there is triple Torx, that one, and one on this side. I have to vacuum these debris out. Alright, one of the metal clip fell. I'm gonna one Torx right there, or triple square. Once these are removed, seat could be lifted up and tilted back. So what I will do, I'll move the seat back a little bit, and then I'm going to remove these two with this guy right here. Will fit in there like that, and I'll remove this one. Same thing on the other side. Once I have them done, I'm going to lift up the seat and disconnect the battery cable. After removing these two triple squares, I'll lift it up the seat right there. Now I'm gonna have to remove these clips. And this thing lifts up. Here is the battery negative. If you do have to replace the battery, then you have to move the seat forward a little bit, and then it will tilt more further back, and then you just have bungee cords to hold the seat up and remove a few things out of the way, and you'll be able to get to it. Let me just go overview real quick. So what I will do here, I'm gonna have to remove this serpentine belt. That's number one. Number two belt is right behind it. That's the longer belt which runs over the alternator. If you see at the bottom, there's the alternator right there. And the alternator is hardly seen. It's buried underneath. I have to remove a lot of stuff to get to it. What I will do for now, I'm just going to remove this air duct and the air cleaner housing, and make some room here in this area. And I'm going to remove this few panels here, few here, and try to make as much room I can, and then I go from there. And the alternator has two bolts, long bolts, running from front to the back, one on top, one on the bottom, and those are the one which the alternator is held with, and that's the main game. And then this will, once this is out, this box, then there will be just enough room for the alternator to slide out. You don't have to go underneath. So I'm just going to show you how to get to the top serpentine belt. So this 16 millimeter long reach box end wrench. This needs to be placed on that idler pulley, tensioner idler pulley. So you go clockwise on it, and as soon as you press it, it releases the tension off of the belt, and you can remove the belt very easily. Try to remove it from this pulley, it will be easier for you. Alright, guys, I have removed or loosened this bolt right here. and I used this setup to do that long reach, which makes it a little easier. And then the bottom one, I did loosen that one as well, which is, you won't be able to see, put right here. These two, once I have them out, then I'll pry the alternator away from the engine, and then I'll be able to remove the alternator back power bolt. And so the trick here is not to let it drop the bolt, because if you do, causes an extra work, headache, everything goes along with it. So try to keep your fingers crossed. That means holding them like this. Do not let it go. So you always want to make sure which one was top one, which one was the bottom one. But here they're both. I'm going to check that, make sure they're both same. Then I'm going to let it mix. Otherwise, I'll put some kind of mark for the upper one and lower one. To pry the alternator back, you need to be very careful not to break any of the hoses or the the wires and clips. So I'm going to just get in here between these two posts, and I'm going to pry it out like so, and I'll make sure I don't go around any hoses or clips while I do that. There you go. So it's out from top. I'll do the same thing at the bottom. Once you have the alternator away from the motor, then you need to get to this power connector on the alternator. And once you have this removed, then you'll be able to get to the signal or the reference terminal. And then you disconnect it and pull the alternator out this way. Now I have to get to this. This is 13 millimeter nut, which I got successfully off. And here's the terminal sitting right there. I need to get to this. So I'm going to go in the back of this terminal and pry the little clip up top towards away from the connector. And while I do that, I'm going to pull the terminal out. And this way you don't break this little tab in the back, this one. So just as a precaution, showing you how to do this clip. This is important. If you do break this clip, you have to change the small harness, or you have to resolder a new clip in there. So I just got my belts back on, and I got this connector back on. I'm going to put this on, and the box, this connector, and then there is this ground strap, ground cable. You need to put that back in. Don't forget that, because otherwise the car might start slow, but it might give you trouble later on. That's a 13 millimeter bolt, and this I have to put another white tie right there, and we are all done. Alright guys, I got my alternator pushed back in, made sure this bolt is tight, and the other signal connector is on properly. I made a little bit of dab on that broken piece, and just want to make sure these two bolts, this one and the one at the bottom, they are fully tight. And you want to use a longer reach So make sure there is no play in those bolts. If there is any kind of play, they will loosen back themselves over time. So I would go ahead and put this belt on first, and I'll put this on the intake, and I disconnected this hose to make it a little easier. I didn't drain the antifreeze. This is the overflow bottle, and I got this hose sitting back here, disconnected here just to lay it over. That's all I did. I did not drain the antifreeze or anything. I'll make sure it is fully topped off once I'm done. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to put the belts back on, put this lid back on, those things back in place, and it'll be all done. Go from. So I have this box back in. There's the 10mm. And one screw here I took off. I made sure it's back on there. This one is tight. This one, and there's a hose in the back. It's all intact. And here, this one I had disconnected, removed here. And I'm going to have to put this clamp back on and this clamp back on. And then I'll put this panel here. And then I'll reconnect the battery. I'll go from there. Thanks for watching. So after reconnecting the battery, I'm just going to go over the pulleys and the belt, make sure they're back in the spot. And this connection here, back there, this. And let's go inside and look at the battery voltage real quick. Little gadget just gives me a readout. Nothing special about it. 14.0. Turn on because it would need to be reset. Once I have the tire pressure, the traction light will go away. The hood will close and the door, and there's a bulb out in the right rear corner. Thanks for watching.